Hello, friends. Have you been? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is Eunice Jeru, and where we are is Eunice Jeru YouTube channel. If you're new and you come across these videos, please consider subscribing. Those who have already subscribed, I appreciate. I thank you. Let's continue doing this. I told you here I will talk about issues which affect our lives and see how we can amend ourselves to make life better, because the ultimate goal of life is happiness. If we are not happy, then we are not living. So we need to be happy. That's how we feel like we are living. The other thing I do here, I cook for you. I cook for you food, which simple recipes which anybody can make from just around your kitchen garden. Not complicated meals. I cook for you simple recipes. And also, here we talk about even issues like lifestyle. How can we keep our bodies fit? How can we make ourselves mentally upright? And that's all we do here. We talk, we laugh, we eat. Now, I told you I'll be talking about issues in America, where I'm living, and in Africa, where I'm born. And I have received many inboxes on my Facebook account. I have a Facebook account, and many people are asking me how they can relocate to America. I know very well that African economies are struggling, and this is even in the world. Even America economy is not that very nice since COVID, but it's better off. And many people would like to move to a better economic status, or a country with better economy, so that they can improve their status. True to the word, yes, it can work. And there are various ways which you can relocate. And I spoke there before. I made a video on one legal way to relocate to the United States, because that's where I am. I cannot tell you how to relocate to London or to Australia or to Dubai or to Qatar or any other country, because I may not know unless I Google that. But what I tell you about America is what I know, because that is maybe what I've seen my friends go through or what I've experienced myself. So I give you status about America because that is what I know. It's always good to be authentic. And one thing I want to talk about before I've given you the one legal status, which is the DV lottery, and that is automatic. It's a luck. You participate in the lottery, and luckily enough, you might end up getting it. But there are other ways, and the other ways, one of them is as a visitor. You can relocate to the United States to come and visit. You can come and visit. And after you come and visit, there are some people who come and visit and they find themselves settled down. Ways are there. But you can never know about some ways unless you are on the ground. So I want to talk about how you can come as a visitor. And one way, no, there are two ways. Let me talk of two ways. You can come as a visitor. You can apply for a visitor's visa. Of course, to relocate to a country, you have to get to a visa to allow you to enter. So to be allowed to enter in America, you can apply to enter America as a visitor. And to get a visitor's visa, you can apply as a private, personal, family sponsorship. That is, you're sponsoring yourself and your spouse or your children or whoever you want to travel with to come and have fun, to come and visit the country, to come and see the monuments, come and see the places, come bring your children to Disneyland. You can do that. The other way, you can be sponsored by another person to come, a person who is in the United States, who lives there. Let me start with the first one, which is self-sponsored visitor visa. That means you are coming, you are sponsoring yourself from the word go, from everything, to come to the United States as a visitor. That means you apply the visa yourself for yourself and the members you are traveling with, and you provide all that is required for that visa. Point number one, they will require to see where you will land. That is, you cannot just land somewhere and think you will just sleep on the street or just pick anybody to accommodate you. So point one, you must show proof of accommodation, and this one basically has to be a hotel. So you prove that you have already booked the hotel from where you will operate from once you land, because they do not want you to come and become a street family. Nobody can do that. Nobody can even allow a visitor to come to their country when they don't know where they will sleep. It's never like that. You have to know where you will spend your time as you continue visiting places, which will be your point of operation. Remember, this one has to be in the system as they give you the visa, because in case of anything, it is the hotel to be asked. It's the hotel to tell where you are. It's the hotel to tell about this visitor who came, and the visitor maybe got problems or something happened involving that person. It is the hotel which can be asked. So the embassy will require you to provide details of the hotel which you have booked where you will stay. The other thing they will require you to provide is a bank statement. The bank statement is very important because they want to know that you are capable financially to take care of yourself. Remember, visiting a place will require money. Money to eat, money to travel around, money to shop. Of course, you're coming to have fun. So you need to have money in your account. I don't know how much dollars they require because I've not applied for that, but I'm sure they need quite some amount of money to show that you and the people you are traveling, you can manage yourselves within the country without any problem. You can move around and pay for your bills, the uses. You will not stay hungry on your trip. You will buy food and afford. You will be able to afford travel from one spot to another as you venture and visit the country. So as a visitor, self-sponsored visitor, you must have enough funds in your account. You must also have booked your hotel. The other thing they want to see, and this one is basically at the point of entry, they want to see that you have booked a return ticket. So when you are booking a ticket, of course, you have to have a return ticket. They cannot allow you to enter as a visitor when you do not have a return ticket. That's very important. So when you're booking, even the airlines, when you're booking to go to a place as a visitor, they will always require that you have a return ticket. Now I go to the second one, which is you are sponsored by somebody as a visitor. This one is mostly common for those people who may be wanting to come to visit their relatives. Maybe they want to attend a function like graduation, like a wedding, or even a funeral, or even maybe to visit in a church and preach, or a seminar and teach. maybe it is a child who has been born and you want to come and name your child. As Africans, we call our parents from back home to come and name our children when we give birth to them and bless them. It's our culture. So when a person gives birth, her mother and the mother-in-law have to travel to come and see the baby. So those are issues also. Maybe it's medical, that's also treated as a visitor. But a medical case is treated specially. You don't have to go all through the stages of proving who has invited you, because the hospital which is referring you provides the referral letter of the hospital they want you to go. So if you're being referred from maybe Mata Hospital in Nairobi to Bela Hospital, maybe here in Texas, the Mata Hospital will provide the letter of referral and to which doctor, so that or which department of the hospital, so that you are known you're coming for medication. And if you're coming for medication, of course, definitely everything is paid through the hospital. The hospital which is receiving you has to make sure that you have accommodation. All that package is paid as the treatment package. That's why when you find people doing harambes or fundraising for hospital is quite expensive. Sorry for those who fall sick. Is because before they travel, the hospital which is receiving the patient has to make sure that even the other people who are coming with them have accommodation, because you cannot come alone. And the hospital does not provide accommodation for the visitor. So they'll get the accommodation for the visitor outside of the hospital in a hotel or an apartment complex, so where you can stay as you check on your patient. So it's quite expensive. And that one is also let me call it a kind of self-sponsored visitor visa, but it is really on medical grounds, and that one can be expedited. It can be done quickly because it's something which has to do with life, so it doesn't go all the processes of waiting, applying online, and then wait for those days. It can be expedited, because if somebody needs like a quick surgery or a transfusion of something, and then if you delay that person, the person can lose their life. So that visa matches. It's a visitor visa. The medical visa can be expedited, and the person is as long as they have funds, they move very quickly, and then they receive the medication. So those ones have not really much of hassle to receive the visa. It is easier when it's easy because it's medical. It's not really anything lovely to talk about or to go by and say that you are really happy you're going. It's not really visiting as visit. The other one of coming to see the kids, this one mostly is for those who are the elderly ladies, our mothers. Again, they get because when you prove that that's your daughter or that's your daughter-in-law, you're coming to see their children, and that one is culturally, there, and you have to prove that I have to go because of ABC, or my daughter is not able to do anything for herself. She gave birth and she's waiting for me to take care of her. Or I'm supposed to be there before this child is baptized because there's baptism of this baby, and I'm the one who is supposed to do ABC for the baby. The elderly ladies also get. Remember, they are not sponsoring themselves. It is the person they are coming to visit who is sponsoring such a visa. So if it is my mother, I'm the one who would be writing all these things to the embassy. Herself is just to avail herself with the passport and receive the visa. Everything else, it is me, the sponsor, who is supposed to deal with the embassy, because I'm the one who understands the details of how I need them here for the sake of whatever function I have or whatever is happening. The other method or the other visitor is if you are coming to attend a graduation or a wedding. And these ones, since COVID started, these ones have really become less. It's not so easy to get a visa to come and attend a wedding. or to attend a graduation. The reason being that the weddings, they have reduced the number of people who can attend, so the wedding can be done without many people. The graduations now, they are even doing virtual ones, so you don't have to be there for your child to graduate. So they are a little bit tight on that. It's not really easy, but it is possible. I can't say it's not possible. I'm not the final. So it is also a way. But remember, for you to come for a graduation or for a wedding, you have to receive a letter of invitation from the person who is graduating or the person who is having the wedding. So these people have to send you the letter which you use to apply for the visa. So the letter has to be long way before the dates. Long way before the dates, because if it is close to the date, by the time the embassy is finished with assessing all this, the case, and following up, the date will have reached for the function, and then maybe you'll be told that it is overtaken by events. Your issue is overtaken by events. You cannot go to attend an event which has already passed. So you have to apply quite early. You have to apply quite early if you know very well that you're coming to attend a function. For instance, it is not easy that you can apply for a visa like we are in September now, and you expect October to be traveling to the United States. It's not possible. You have to give them like 2-3 months, because once you apply now, you have to wait for them to come back to you, ask you for the documents they want, verify, and then schedule you for an interview. And the schedule for interview is on availability. Remember, you are not alone who is applying, so you are many. So of course you don't expect them to rush your case if it is not an emergency. So you have to queue, and maybe by the time they call you for the interview, it could be maybe after 2-3 months. And after 2-3 months, maybe your function which you wanted to attend will have been done, so you can be given that case. Okay, the other thing I want to say is that when somebody is inviting you, you must know that the burden is on that person inviting you. So that's why it's very difficult for people to invite others, because at the embassy they will need proof of address where this person lives. So if I was to invite somebody, they would ask for my address. So that one now is very serious. We don't joke with address. We don't joke with your personal information. So that's why you must, when one has to invite somebody, you must be sure whom you are inviting, because this information, if it is messed up, you are also messed up. If the person does not know how to go about at the embassy, they can also jeopardize you without knowing, because knowledge is power. And if the person doesn't know, they can be caught that you are just inviting them to come and keep them. And that way the person inviting can also be on problems. So that one is very serious. So they ask for the address of the person inviting you. Of course, you have to, if you're inviting a person, you have to give that. They will ask for the social security number. Okay, America, once you land here legally, or whenever you get legal papers, you are given something called social security number. It is like the number which Kenya are using now, which is called Huduma number. I don't know how far the Huduma number has succeeded in Kenya, but with America, the social security number, you can never work without the social security number. Number 2, once the social security number is put in the system it's a federal document, so all the federal systems have that number with your name. If you do crime, definitely you cannot lie, it is not you. If you do anything else, even if it is not paying taxes, you will be caught by that number. If you cannot skip, you cannot skip anything. You cannot even hide in short forms of getting away with some issues. The social security number is very important. So when the embassy asks for the social security number of the person sponsoring you, they are able to see whether that person has ever taken government aid, Remember, when you come to America, like we are here, and you are able to work, you're not supposed to get government aid if you are able to work. But because of some situations, sometimes we find ourselves getting government aid because maybe, like when COVID struck, some people lost jobs, and therefore you want to take the government aid. Government aid is money from the government. You get and it's not paid back. It's like a relief fund. So it's like an insurance in case you lose a job. So if you get government aid, and maybe they find that you got government aid in a way that it was not okay. Maybe you got the government aid, and you did declare that stop giving me the aid because I've gotten a job, or that's a crime. And with the social security number, they are able to see that. And if they see that, therefore it means that they cannot trust you with sponsoring somebody. With the social security also, they are able to see whether you pay taxes or not. If you don't pay taxes or you are undertaxed, it is wrong. When you are under tax, you are supposed to pay back to the government the amount you are supposed to be taxed at the end of the year. When we apply for tax returns, you are supposed, if your taxes were less, you pay back. But if your taxes were more, the government pays you back. So American government is very efficient. They don't steal from you, and you should also not steal from them. So when they ask for social security number at the embassy, they are able to determine whether the person sponsoring you is an obedient and a very, very truthful person by paying taxes. Okay, they are also able to see whether this person has enough works. And work means that they are able to feed for themselves. Then they can check the amount of salary you make. Remember, they will ask this sponsor for bank statement and salary stamps and all that. They are able to determine whether the amount of money you're making, the sponsor is making in a year, is enough for that person, their household, their dependents, and to sponsor another person. That is where the battle is. Hapo ndipo msalaba mkubwa upo. That is the cross. Because if I might be making a lot of money, but on my list of those who depend on me, I have like 5 dependents. So even if I'm making maybe a lot of money, a great figure, and I have 5 dependents on me, they will see that this money is enough to make. They will deduct and see one dependent is, they assume I'm using this amount for one dependent and another and another and another. So my net is left for me. That which is left for me is the one they will check against whether it is enough to sponsor a person from Africa, from overseas, to come and stay with. And if it is not meeting the amount they expect, you cannot be around to sponsor anybody. And therefore, the person you're sponsoring or the person you're inviting will not be given the visa on the status or on the claim that your sponsor cannot afford to keep you. So that one is very important. Even when it comes to housing, if I'm housed by the government, like in Texas, we have something called Section 8. Section 8 is houses which are owned by the government, and they are big houses, very big houses and good condition, but you stay there and you only don't pay. You only pay for your utilities, for light and water maybe. So it's like you are given, it's like the council, San Nairobi, the county council houses seriously compare Nairobi, Eastlands and somewhere Kariako there. So those houses owned by the government, they are given to those people who are in low income status. So if already the government has proved you're in low income status and they have given you a house, definitely you can't sponsor another person. Excuse me. Excuse me. That means that you are not in a position which you can sponsor another person, because your house is even owned by the government. So you cannot be living in a house which is owned by the government and you want to bring another person in the same house. It's difficult. That you may not convince them that you can sponsor a person. So that is something else people need to know. And that one about Section 8 applies even to family visa. I mean, family green card, the one you apply for your family petitioning. If you are living in a government housing, it will affect your petition for your family member whom you want to relocate under your visa. So that one should be noted very clearly. We should note that they have to check that. So when you are being sponsored, you must be sure the person you are sponsoring or the person sponsoring you meets all these. That is why most people think that we refuse to sponsor them, we refuse to invite them. No, it's because it's a process which requires so much from us, and we might not meet, and then you might think that we were not serious in it. Again, I may not be having a graduation, I may not be having a wedding, I may not be, because they need functions, I may not be having anything which I can invite you to do. So it is very difficult. So it's difficult to invite person. The other way you can come as a visitor is if there is burial. If a person dies, your relative has died abroad, and they say that you cannot be buried when you are not there. Again, that one you are given an expedited visa so that you come and bury your person. And these visas, especially those ones who are coming like for burial, for seeing a child, they are limited. You may be given 2 weeks, you may be given 1 month, you may be given like that. It is not just at you just stay all long. No, they have time limit when you can come, and then you go back by this time. They limit you. That is how you apply for a visitor visa, and that is the requirement. The other thing is, once you get the visitor visa, make sure that at the before you leave your country, you have already done the booking of a return ticket, because at the port of entry, at the airport, when you are entering the United States, they need to see the date you'll be going back, and make sure that even where you are going, you are sure of the address again, because at the port of entry, they'll ask you for the address where you are going. If you confuse the two, though, you'll be deported. They'll send you back. They will not allow you to enter when you don't know where you are going. So make sure that you know exactly the names of the people who have invited you, and make sure they also know, because they'll call them before they release you at the airport. They'll call them. Make sure they know that you are arriving at this time. Make sure that you know where they live and what they do for a living. You have to have all that information, and where they live, all that you have to, and your relationship with them as well. Remember what you said in the embassy when you are getting the visa. If it's your sister, she's my sister, she lives in this state, she lives in this address, she does NBC, and I'm coming because of NBC. And if it is a function, it is on this date. Those things must align. You don't mix up. If you mix yourself up, the same dege uliingia nayo is the same one you will use to go back. So you must be very careful with this, with the embassy and the immigration. And definitely, if you are not a liar, you speak the truth, and you are courageous and faithful and trusting God, you will make it. You can come. But surely it is not easy to invite a person. It is not very easy, but it happens. It happens. Only that people mess. I'll come up with let me even mention it. There is this case of a lady who messed up, and she was sent back, and she had been invited, I think, by her cousin in Maryland. Maryland is another state, and when she was coming for a wedding. The wedding was even they didn't know she didn't know the person of the wedding, because the cousin had gotten a letter from the person with the wedding, so that she can invite her cousin back home. So the cousin was invited, and she was told, because now you can't come to Maryland. Our intention was not to bring you to Maryland. Our intention was to bring you to see whether you can get a nanny job, and then you work. So she looked for a person in Texas where I live, and this was my friend. So my friend was requested. She had just given birth, and she said, yes, I can have her because I don't have anybody to take care of my baby. So she can come and be my nanny. Unfortunately, this lady did not know that at the airport, you don't say you are coming to work. You say what you said at the embassy, that you are coming to attend a wedding. So she came at DFW. DFW is Dallas Fort Worth Airport, where we receive our guests from international flights. And she said, we didn't meet this lady, by the way, because she was not around in. And she was asked, where are you going? That was 2018. And she said, I'm going to so and so. To do what? To take care of her baby. I'm going there to be a house help. And of course, you cannot be coming, your visa from the embassy is saying you are coming to attend a wedding at Maryland, and now you are landing at Dallas Fort Worth, and you're saying you're going to be a maid in a nanny in Dallas. That one now already is conflicting information. So when my friend was called, she said she does not know her, because even me, I cannot say I know you. I don't want to be deported too. I don't want to make my status bad because of a person who has messed up. Because you are supposed to have said you're going for a wedding. She was supposed to have said she's going for a wedding at Maryland, but she wants to greet somebody at Dallas and then proceed to Maryland. That is around as a transit flight. But she came and said she's coming to Dallas to work. So when my friend was called, she said, I don't know anybody like that. I'm not expecting somebody like that. And that was very okay with her. And so the lady was sent back to Kenya. That is how serious they are. She was deported. Whose mistake? Her mistake, because she did not stick to what she had been invited to come for. You must stick with the truth. Much as you know, there is some kauongo umeweka wewe unajijua. Let me speak Swahili now for those who come from Kenya. They know what I mean. You know exactly unakuja kudu. But you do not want the authorities to know that. Nobody will allow you to come and work when you don't have the visa. So we must be very careful with these immigration cases. And once you get your visa, please stick to what you're coming to do. You're coming for a conference. You're coming for a visitor. You have been sponsored. Maybe by even your company can sponsor you to come and visit. And that is very easy because you need no money. The company will take care of that. As long as you land, you will know yourself after landing. But make sure you are truthful until you are told, welcome to America. After you are told at the airport, welcome to America, get out of the airport. From there, sort yourself out. It is easy. Enjoy yourself once you land. Okay, thank you so much. I hope I've helped you on how you can apply for, you need to apply for a visa and what is required. And if you want to come to visit, you are welcome. Only that we don't know how we can bring all of you. We would like you to come, but we don't know how really. It's not easy. But when we got a chance, we can easily bring you. Thank you so much. I love you. Bye-bye.